So as I have my block, I want to hold on to it narrow. And as we hold this narrow block, we'll give some attention to the feet. I want to pick the inner edges of the feet up, hold the block, roll the soles of the feet to the floor, and recognize that the chair is here as a safety net, but we want to use it specifically. So at first, we're going to lift the heels and bring the block with us. And the specific way to use the chair is to notice, do I really need it? Can I just let my hands rest on top? Am I ready to let my hands hover? What is that like? And then come down slowly. So notice what I didn't say. I didn't say anything about coming up as high as you can. That's not the point, okay? Rest your hands. Make sure your block is with you. Lift the toes and spread them wide, and you can stay just with this. This is fantastic all by itself. You can lift the front of the feet, and the idea is to bring the block with you. So there's a little bit more load for the top of the ankles, top of the feet. And this time we want to specifically push down. So the more I push down, the more there's this lift to the pelvic floor, to the lower abdominals, to this broadening effect. And we can do this in a more fluid way, meaning we can have repetition, come and go with the breath. And there's an advantage to just staying and noticing what really turns on a little bit more, what comes into play. Kneecaps are lifting, yeah? And then rest. So now we want to change this. We want to turn the block to its medium width. And this just begins to change a few of the relationships, the angles that the adductors are doing. I want to hold on to the block. We're going to do the same thing. Think about your proximity to the chair so it's really there for you. And very slowly come to lifting the heels, bringing the block with you. You might feel that you are more comfortable here. Your feet are a little bit wider. You might feel that you can go a little bit higher. This is your chance to experiment because we're not being fluid up and down and up and down. We're just holding it. So again, do you feel that you really need to hold the chair? Can you let your fingers just rest? Do you have the opportunity, does your body give you the permission to let go? And then notice what happens, right? There's this using their toes as a kickstand. Very slowly come on down, right? So there's not a wrong, you need to make it right for you. Similarly, we're going to lift the toes and spread them wide. Notice how you lift the arches of the feet automatically. And then bring the block with you if you're lifting the front of the feet, the heels stay. And here we really want to push down and into the chair. If you find that you're leaning a little bit back, that is great. You're compensating for the fact that there's lift in the front body. Lift your gaze. The hands press down, they're not just resting. The kneecaps lift. And when you lift your gaze, draw your chin up and in, lengthen the back of your neck, let that benefit how the back of the shoulders are strong. And then slowly give it a rest. So I think everybody knows what's coming. Variety is good. Third repetition. Block is wide. And you might have to shift how you're really holding it to be able to bring it with you. Hold it between your heels and then come on, lifting any amount, and your feet are wider. You might feel more stable. Works that way. And do you need to push into the chair or hold it? Can you let your hands just rest? The block keeps you from turning out in your ankles. Can your fingers just float over the chair? Sometimes that's possible. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes maybe one hand can do it. Lots of ways to improvise. And then very slowly come on down. And how about that? We are giving a lot of strengthening to the feet, and we should. All right, so here we go. Lifting the toes, stretching them wide. Yep, lifting the front of the feet, bringing the block with. Finding the rest of the lift that comes into play, appreciating your design, lengthening the sides of the neck, drawing the chin in, and this reaching out through the crown of the head. It should feel really good for the back of the neck, creating space that way. Very nice. And give it a rest. Excellent. We're gonna move on up and really work the hips. And I'm gonna have us do it this way. All you have to do is simply turn to the side and step up on your block. That's all I'm asking you to do. I'm gonna ask us today to not look down, to look ahead so that if the outside leg can be toes with the floor, what's happening, in fact, is that you're telling your brain, this is how far I am from the floor, and it's good for proprioception. So now the outside leg is going to swing forward, and I want to turn it out. I want to have this external rotation, and then I'm going to bring the heel against the block and press back. And so the leg is in front of me. It's with the heel pressing back into the block. The sole of the foot is floating off the floor, parallel to the floor. And all of a sudden there's some gluteal engagement, and we are really tricking the standing leg into really firming to doing its job. Take that leg out to the side, swing it behind you, turn it in internal rotation, and let the top of the toes press forward into the block. So the entire leg moved as a unit. It turned internally. Here, we get some strengthening for the standing leg. Excellent. Let's step down and switch. I was trying to do that on purpose to keep us there for a while. So here we go. All you have to do is turn around to the other side. That's all you need to do. Step up onto your block. Let your toes, outside leg, tap the floor. Try to look ahead so that you build these balancing skills. Swing the leg forward, turn out, external rotation, and then bring it to rest against the block at the front. Outer heel presses back. So you should find how the standing leg reacts to all of that. It's wonderful. Core muscles are on. Your standing leg that's working is helping your spine to extend. Lots of good things. Take the leg behind you, internal rotation. Let the top of the toes, the top of the foot press forward. And just feel the response of that standing leg. So every time you take a step, the leg that's bearing most of your weight, it's responding to where the other leg is, to where your arms are. It begins to shift the weight pattern to accommodate you. And we want to do these strengthening things. Excellent. Take the time and step down. Nice. So we'll move the block out of the way. I'm going to put mine in my chair just to have it from being underfoot. And we're going to switch out and use the ball. So I have this ball, and this ball is going to, while I'm standing with the chair beside me. So if you wanted to move your chair so it's halfway down your mat, it's turned away from you, there's space in front and beside you, and two legs of the chair are on your mat. I have a ball, and the ball is going back behind. And I want to place it so that the inside leg is heel on the ball. The outside leg comes forward. Okay. So we have this warrior one set up. We are not walking the tightrope. We're bearing into the back leg. And as soon as we do that, we can tell that what takes up the effect of that bearing down is the deep hip flexors, and this is good. It means that they're being asked to engage. They're being strong while their muscle fibers are elongated, and this benefits the lower back more than we think. So today we're going to do a few familiar things, but we're going to do something that's new with this. While the back heel is anchored, while both legs are firm, I want you to lift your arms just knowing that the chair is there. And if you were taking this big giant step, this stride forward, how would you be using your arms? Which arm would be forward? Let your body react. Which arm would be forward? Think about it. I want to walk, but when I put that leg forward, what feels normal? And just hold it there. So again, when you're moving, your legs are reacting to what your upper body is doing. And if you're not swinging your arms, you're not helping your hips. So we want to use our arms when we walk, and it's not just to lift our heart rate, though that does happen. Okay, wonderful. Take the arms wide. Everybody knows chair is right there. If you need to hold it, please do. And then turn the palms up and drop the elbows. Let the upper body really open, right? And then, if you will, take the arms high. Yes. While you're here, scissor your arms. Keep bearing into the back leg. Notice how the more you move your arms, the more that deep area in your hip is responding because the leg is responding. Take the arms back wide. Turn the palms down. Fold halfway. Excellent. Take the arms ahead. Keep the arms in front of you, come upright, shoulder retraction. Excellent. We have one more thing to try. I want us to hold on to the chair, bear down, and then come and fold. Yes. And then unfold. We're going to repeat that in just a little bit as we add a twist. So now step down and ignore the ball. We're going to get back to it. Where we're going next is to take the inside leg and make it the front leg. And I want you to come forward so that you have to reach back for the top of the chair. And as soon as you're there, the chair is slightly behind you, then the outside leg is going to go back. Keep adjusting, keep sliding. I want the hand at the chair to be back. So I have to keep coming forward to make sure that it's behind me holding the chair. Yep. All right. So here we go. We're going to take that outside arm forward and we're going to fold. The hand at the chair gets to just slide along the way and then unfold. And what's really nice about that is that we know where the chair is. We don't have to look back for it. Our hand gets to slide along the surface. If we need to catch the chair, we sure can. As we go again, the folding and unfolding strengthens the back of the body. As we get there this time, if you will, keep the front arm reaching and simply turn your head and look down and back. And then turn your rib cage any amount more. Keep reaching forward, keep turning in your spine, keep looking down and back. Very nice. And then inhale and come on up. We're going to do it one more time with one more change. Straighten the front leg. Come and fold. Turn your head, look down and back, keep turning, let everything that can go along for this twist go along. I'm turning my head to look back to the chair, my rib cage is turning more, my hips are turning more, my legs are strong. And then slowly inhale and come upright and step the feet together. You are welcome to turn around or to move your chair to the other side. So I'm moving my chair. And the ball is aiming to the inside leg. It's set so that the inside leg is heel on the ball and the outside leg steps forward into this warrior one setup. Exactly. The more that I press down, the more I bear down into the heel onto this ball, the more that there's a isometric strengthening for these deep hip flexors. So if you will, take the arms wide. Just check out and notice. If you feel uncomfortable in any way, please hold on to the chair, all right? Turn the palms up. Exactly. Take the arms high. So we're elongating those hip flexor muscles by lifting the ribs away. Take the arms wide. Turn the palms down. And the chair is right there as you need it. Exhale and fold. And inhale and unfold. Nice. Let's do that again. Exhale and fold. Inhale and unfold. This time, if you will, put your hand at the chair. Take the other arm ahead. Exhale and fold. We want to try a great variety of things while we're over here. And simply turn your head and look back into the chair as we repeat this without the ball, with the other leg forward. We're going to have a deep twist. Inhale, come upright. Shoulder retraction, step forward and step down. And simply switch. We can ignore the ball. I'm going to take the other leg in front, but I want to be reaching back for the chair. I want it to be behind me, okay? The other leg travels back. The inside leg is the front leg. And if all of a sudden that chair is not far enough behind you, come forward and allow that to be, okay? So we'll take the arm ahead and we'll come and fold. And as you do, turn your head and look back. We're getting this great deep stretch for the calf of the back leg. We're turning on the axis of the spine. Inhale, come unfolding. Whether or not you twist, just try folding. Just try sliding forward, similar to what we did on the other side, and coming upright, sliding back. Let's try that again. So the hand at the back of the chair gets to slide. We are not gripping the chair. We're giving our body the chance to hold us, to do its thing. But while you're here, turn your head and look. Keep lengthening the sides of the rib cage. Inhale, come upright, and we'll reserve the energy to try that one more time. We're going to straighten the front leg. This is a hip hinge. The back of the legs tell you, oh, we're stretching. Take the arm ahead. And as you turn your head to look down and back, allow everything and anything that can to participate in this rotation. The legs are on. As you inhale, come upright. Very nice, everyone. Step forward, step back. Excellent. Everybody has long legs now. We're going to keep the chair beside us, and I'm going to move the ball out of the way. So we're going to keep the chair beside us and step somewhat away. And where I'd like to go is to take the outside leg and bring it across. Okay. And this time I want to use my hand at the chair to kind of guide that. I want to press away. I want to have the side bend. Wow. And we could stay here. We could stay here. It's not about dropping the head. The head just kind of follows the spine. But I want to add a rotation to this side bend. And so where I'd like for us to be careful is to understand that we're not turning in our knees. That just doesn't even feel like it should be part of the equation. We're turning the upper body. So use your hand at the chair to push into the chair and kind of guide a little bit of rotation. Don't go far. As you turn the upper body just a little bit in this side bend and a twist, I want you to notice that you didn't take the pelvis with you, that your hip point stayed pointing in the direction of your mat and that you're able to turn a little bit. So let your hand push down and ask for a little bit more. Turn a little bit more. That shoulder comes around. We're not going to add a lot of arm work to it. We're just going to notice that this is a rib cage strengthening exercise. For some folks, it really opens up space that they need. For all of us, it is useful. Take a slow, deep breath. Expand the back of your rib cage. If we use our breathing awareness to really stretch the rib cage deeply in a lot of our poses, we are affecting the mobility of the spine, not just the rib cage, not just increasing lung capacity. I hope that makes sense. It makes a lot of our movement through our day more accessible. Come back to center. Nice. We're going to stay here and take the leg behind us to cross over. And this time we want to take the arm either across or overhead. So I'm going to show it to you this way. And I want you just to come and stretch. Exactly. And do the same thing. Hip points are not turning. It would be easy to do that now. I want to turn the rib cage, turn the rib cage, turn the rib cage, look down. Keep reaching up, keep looking down, keep pushing down. And take a breath. We want this to always feel spacious. And then come on back. So now we feel a little lopsided and we need to do the other side. You can simply turn around. You're welcome to move your chair. And we have to be careful, not in a hurry. So what we're doing first is to step away from the chair, and then to take the outside leg and bring it in front, and to push into the chair and come into this side bend. So right away, because the leg is in front, it contributes to the stretch of the side. I'm all on one plane. I'm thinking that I'm all on one plane. I'm aiming to be all on one plane. And then not. Then my lower body is going to stay, and I'm going to turn the upper body, and a little bit feels like a lot. Think about where the weight is in your feet. Make sure that it's not all in that leg you started with. The one that comes across gets to push the floor as well. Turn any amount more. Let your fingertips at your hip point help you with feedback to know, oh, but I didn't turn. I stayed right here. The shoulder will come along. The rib cage is turning. We're looking down and we're pushing down. And just breathe. The breath is the icing on the cake. It helps with articulation in the long run. With the next inhalation, come on back and take the leg behind you. Interesting that something like this, using our poses this way, is so beneficial. It's sneaky. So I want to push away. I want to have this hip that juts out to the side. And this time we can take the arm up and add to the value of the side stretch for the rib cage. I want to turn and look down. Turn the upper body, look down. Keep reaching up to look down. Keep the pelvis still. Upper body adjusting. And just breathe. It's a surprise. A lot of work goes on here. And then slowly return. Isn't that interesting? Using all of those lines of energy.